I have to tell you right now that you're not going to make it out of this alive. None of us are. My mom told me that right before she got taken by one of them, and I thought, wow, that may be the first time she's ever told the truth. She taught us both to lie through her little ways. I lied about doing my homework and kissing my friends. My brother lied about smoking cigarettes. So now we're in this mess. He hasn't been smoking as long as some of the others, but we can't guarantee that he won't complete the transformation anyway. Yeah, I know you can see the scales even in the dark. No need to point. It makes me nauseous too. He's acting completely normal though. I don't judge him. We're just looking for a cure like everyone else and waiting it out till then. I was surprised to find you in this barn when we returned. No worries, I know we don't own the place. It was just a little shocking seeing you amongst the hay, eating our soup. Glad we caught you before you finished it. We were hungry as hell. You know, we were actually out looking for spoons. What kind of God-fearing farmhouse doesn't have spoons? Rat poison for days, but nothing else. Honestly, I don't think Devon just found utensils in the shed like he said he did. The shed was locked. I checked. I think he used his claws to break that fatty padlock. They're just getting too long. No, don't mention it. He's really sensitive about them. He knows this is partially his fault. Our mess and all. They wouldn't let us into the safe house since he'd already begun to change. Damn if we weren't shocked when it happened, too. When I saw the other dragons on the news, I was terrified, but my mom said, "Just thank God no one smokes in this family." It was almost comedic, because just right then, Devon coughed up a big puff of smoke. The look on his face. Idiot. You should get some rest. You look like shit. Oh, sorry. That's the city talking. Everyone always said I didn't act much like a lady. I don't mind, though. Last lady I saw was snatched up by one of them. Heels like that? No wonder she didn't make it past the first attacks. She sure was beautiful, though. Hair like a bombshell. Kinda like yours. I always wanted great hair like that, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. It won't grow back now. Not with the scarring and the burns. It saves me on hairbrushes till the day I get snatched up too. Or Devon kills me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm a realist, and I've always prided myself on that fact. I wouldn't want to make it through this anyway. None of my friends would want to kiss me now, am I right? I look like an old leather bag. You don't look like the type to have known many, if any, smokers. Well, maybe you saw the signs on the news like most people. I remember seeing the first internet rumors a few months ago about people changing, mostly in those other countries where everybody smokes. It's just what you do over there. My city had banned it by then. I thought it sounded kind of cool, you know? Then again, I just thought it was some bullshit story like everybody else did. People turning into dragons, killing their neighbors and whatnot. I thought it must be some new slander campaign against those who did still smoke. Paint them like monsters and make it sound more dangerous than it really was. I still believe that when I saw it on the news at my school. I thought, wow, they're really taking this too far. Lay off the poor people. But then one guy in my class starts yelling that the thing on screen is his mom because it's wearing her charm bracelet. The teacher pulled him out real quick. I kept looking at the TV and thinking, no way was that a person. It had to be CG or some shit, because people don't fly around grabbing children off the ground and lighting cameramen on fire. You remember that broadcast? Why the hell they showed that in my class, I'll never know. Now that I think about it, Devon seemed freaked out that day. They must have shown it in his class, too. I bet he already knew he was screwed. He'd been hiding it for almost a year at that point. He must have felt so scared, sitting there thinking that was going to be him soon. He asked me to kill him if he gets too far along. I said I would, but I'm afraid I might not be strong enough at that point. Maybe you could. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say stuff like that. Why am I even thinking you'd be around that long? You're probably headed to a safe house, just like everyone else. I heard they have everything holed up in there, and there are plenty of doctors just working on the cure. Funny, most doctors I knew always smoked. It's weird to think of Dr. Patreon flying around burning down houses. He had the best bedside manner. Oh, quiet. I think some of them are overhead. I sure hope we're not near a nest of them. They can smell you if you get too close, and now that they're forming these little hunting groups, well, we'd really be screwed. Oh. It's just Devon. Since when did he growl like that? He's starting to get the worst heartburn at night. News said it's from the chemicals that they use to create the fires inside their stomach pouch thing. It would be cool if it wasn't real. This would all be cool if it wasn't real. Did people smoke in medieval times or whenever? I wonder if the dragons in all the stories were just people once, and humanity has already lived through this somehow. Like we've already conquered this thing before, and we just have to remember how we did it. What I really want to know is what caused it to happen now. Some scientist was spouting stuff about tobacco mutations and solar flares, but he didn't sound too sure of himself. My mom said that it was the apocalypse. Never read a Bible in her life, and now suddenly she was an expert. She said smoking must have been the ultimate sin in God's eyes, and now they were getting their just rewards. I said, then why the hell are the rest of us stuck here with them getting eaten? She told me to quiet down and pray. What a load. She'd already locked Devon in the basement by then. He didn't even fight her. Some ultimate sinner. Can I tell you the truth now? I know there isn't going to be a cure. I keep telling Devon that because he's just so panicked. He knows he's getting worse every day. He can't even sleep on his back now from the pain of those new bones trying to break out. I hate seeing him like that. He was always a gentle guy. Moody, unpopular, but a big softy at heart. Do you think they know what they're doing after they change? If there's some awareness left over while the monster side is just killing people? That would be awful. I bet some of them have even killed their own families. That would be too much for Dev to bear. I couldn't let that happen. Are you feeling sick? You look it. I really wish you hadn't eaten our soup. It was supposed to be just for Devon and I to get us out of this mess. I would have given you something else and sent you on your way to the safe house, you know? I was sure he was going to taste the rat poison I snuck in, but smoking does dull the taste buds. Sorry it was bitter. I'm normally a great cook. I loved using spices and trying new ingredients back home. Oh, what the fuck am I saying? I know you're freaked out. but I read the instructions, and there's no avoiding it since I doubled the dose. I didn't know how many rats equaled one Devon, so look, I think we're both just better off trying to go to sleep and moving on. It'll be faster that way. Can I touch your hair once before we turn in? It really is pretty, and I really miss mine. It's soft. Come lay down by Devon. He's nice and warm nowadays. You wouldn't have made it out there with them anyway, you know. The closest safe house for 40 miles has already been attacked and burned to the ground. I'm real sorry. I hope you can forgive me. I understand if you don't. It's just, between Devon and I, someone had to become a monster. And I couldn't let it be him. Well, good night.